Hi guys, today I want to make this rainbow bracelet with you. Everything in this bracelet has the meaning. This is called the Covenant, so this is based on Genesis 13 to 16. You got the rainbow colors in the Swarovski. You got the drops from the rain. There is some gray in here, 15O seed beads that stand for the dark part of the cloud. Of course, you got the white 8O seed beads that are the clouds themselves, and the silver around it is for the silver lining, where God promised us that he wouldn't flood the earth again. And you got this little cross that are the colors of the sunshine, this orange and yellow. And of course, Jesus said, I am the light, so that also symbolizes that part of the religious bracelet. I made this already in a bangle. It's not a bangle that comes on easy. It does fit, of course, as you can see, but I have to carefully just kind of push it down my hand to get it off. I did 5 sets of rainbow colors in here, and then that was a little bit too loose, so I went through the drops and the 8Os again to tighten that up a little bit more, so that is a little tighter. So that's one way to make the bracelet, and I am not sure if all you guys will be able to fit it, so that's why I also in the PDF file added how to do a clasp. Okay, so but now we're going to make another bangle. So what we first do is we put out all the colors, and the colors, these colors are in the PDF file, the colors of the rainbow. So that's what you first do. You put those in the exact order, one row at a time, so you don't make any mistakes in the follow-up of the colors of the rainbow. Now, whether you want to start with red or you want to start with violet, that is up to you. And you need some 8O seed beads, because that's what we're going to do, and we're going to implement the Swarovskis into our cubic right angle weave right away. Now, of course, you don't have to do this in rainbow colors. You can do this with any color that you want. If you don't want a rainbow, you can just take your favorite colors. We are starting with wildfire, so get a thread that you're comfortable working with and run that through your wax. We're going to add another thread later on. So we're going to start with 4 8O seed beads, white. It's the material list is in the PDF file that's underneath this video. I'm going to pull that through. And if you want to make a clasp, leave a considerable amount of end tail, because you have to start with your second color instead of your first, so that you can add your jump ring later on to the ear hook that you need to still put on there. Okay, and then we're going to go through all these beads again. All the way around, and then into this one where the knot is. Okay, and this is the point where we begin. First one you're going to put on is the Swarovski, and then we're going to pick up 2 more seed beads, 8Os, and we're going to go back into that first seed bead that we just came out of. Pull that tight. Now we're going to basically move into the top bead. We started on the right. We're going to move into that top bead, but it's easier to just kind of turn it around. In the PDF file it will show the top side, okay? So don't worry about that. We got 2 more, and we're going to go into the Swarovski and into that bead that you're coming out of. I'm going to move forward in the next seed bead. I'm going to pick up another 2 8/0s and pick up that last white one and then the one you came out of. And this is the last one. And here you're going to close it up. Now it already has that one on the side, so you can pick that up. Then we're going to close it, and this is the top bead, and then we're going to pick up the other one on the side, and we're going to go around again, all the way up. Now if you pull this tight, you will have your first cube, and then we're going to pick it up on the top. Okay, so we're coming out of this bead on the side. We're going to go into the right side bead, the top bead, the left bead, and the bottom bead. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and to close that up you have to do a total of 5. So we got to pick up the first one again, and then you pull that tight. Okay, now we're going to start with the second color, and we're going to pick up 2 and go into that right side again. That's where you start, basically your beginner's point. And then the next one, picking up 2, picking up the Swarovski and the bead you came out of. Now I'm going to turn another quarter, picking up the next bead. This is side number 3, picking up 2, picking up that bead, white bead on the side and the one that you came out of, and then we're going to close up again, and we're now on the side. So that's the last one you move through. You move up, because that bead is already there. You're going to add one and then close up the top with that one. That's the top bead. So down again, into the middle, and up again. This is where I'm coming out with my thread, so I'm just going to do all the way. So we're right here on the side, and now we need to close up the top because that's loose. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 4 and 5. Let's do it one more time. Okay, this is our beginning point. As you can see, my Swarovskis are right on there. I don't think I ever saw anybody implant the 4 millimeters in the craw before, but I'm not sure. Okay, so don't go crazy. This is where it is at, and you think, oh, but the Swarovski is here. No, it will work out right as long as you start on the right side. So next color, and 2 11/0s, and move forward into the next bead. Picking up 2. Oh, wrong color bead. Into the Swarovski and into the one you came out of, and the next one. Side number 2. Picking up 2 again, picking up that side bead, that one you came out of, and the last one. Side number 3. Now we're moving up to close that last corner, and we do that with 1 seed bead. And then we're going to go all the way around again. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to close up the top. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. Okay, and then we're just going to start with the next color. and so on and so on until you run out of thread. So pause me now until you run out of thread. Okay, it's a real thread eater, but after 3 sets of Swarovski I ran out of thread. So we're going to add a new thread. Make sure you always wind up at the end, and you just went around all the way. So just go around one more time. Like that. Get a new thread. I'm going to take another needle because I'm lazy and I still have to work the thread away. And with this thread we're going into opposite of the end till. So we're going in here, pull that through, not all the way. I'm going to go around here too. And we're going to do that twice. And this is where I came out of, so that's my beginning point. And that's where I'm going to continue. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. And I'm just going to pick up the next color of my rainbow round. And I'm going to do just a couple of them before I take care of my end tails. So just continue your rows and just do like 2 or 3 of them, and then I'll get back to you how to tie up these end tails. Okay, I finished up a whole row because that's I was on a roll and I didn't want to break my sequence. So I finished that all up. This is going to be double knotted. 1, 2. Then we're going to go and bring that thread through the beads, or pull that knot in there, and just kind of go around until you're on the bottom. Go under the threads in between the beads, create a little loop when you pull your thread through, and then pull that tight. And you can do that twice if you care to do that. Put it under, make sure that it's really tight. Go into the middle bead, and what I'm doing is I'm going to work my thread away on the inside of my craw. So I'm going to pull that out, and then I'm going to cut that off. And I'm going to do the exact same with the other thread, but I'm going to run that the other way around. Go in here, underneath the threads, pulling that through, going through there with the needle into the middle bead again, and then picking it up here, going through there, and then just going underneath and pushing that away and cutting that off. Now this is what you're going to do every time you need to add a new thread, okay? So and we're working away on the bottom. So now you just continue until you know you can get your bracelet over your knuckles. So just pause me now until you got about the right size. Okay, to fit you need to leave the last one, and it needs to go over your knuckles. Now I already know that that will go over my knuckles because I already made one and it had 6 sets in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yep. And then we're going to close it up. And this is much easier than when with regular crawl, because now you're just going to put the tops, thread on the right side, the tops together like that. And this is where you came out. This is your right side. So, and this is your right side, right? From the beads. So you're going to pick up that bead and you're going to go in to that right side right there. And you're going to pick up an 8/0 white seed bead and you're going to go move it in to that same thread right there where you came out of before you added that bicone. Now you're going to roll it a little bit, and you can see you got these two right here that need to be connected. So you're going to go move forward into the next one, pick up that 11/0, go right in there, and move through the Swarovski. And into that one where you started again. Now roll it a little further. This is the back. And now you got these two that need to be connected. So right there. Pick that one up. Pick the previous bead up and back into the one where you started from. And now you got this side, and you can see you got all the beads there. So all you have to do is just kind of go around and pick them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I'm almost running out of thread, so I'm going to start with a new thread. That means I'm gonna go one forward and meet up with my end tail right here, tie that up, and then just work my threads away like you did before. So I'm going to pause you now as I work these threads away, and then we'll pick it up with a new thread. If your thread is still long enough, you don't have to do this. You're just going to stay where you are instead of moving forward what I just did. I'm just going to stay right here. Part 2 of this is very time consuming, so I suggest you get started and do the rest tomorrow. I'm adding a new thread, so I'm going into the back right here, and then I'm going to go around so that my thread doesn't move anymore. If you have finished up closing up your bracelet and you still have thread enough, you should also be coming out somewhere over here. So I'm going to go around twice to make sure that that's tight and that won't move anymore. Before I continue. Okay. So now we are where everybody should be, and we're moving up. And then I'm going to go back to the top, turn your bracelet, moving up one more on the side, and going into the bicone. I'm going to pick up 4 silver, 15 O's, got a little wax there, and I'm going back into the bicone. I'm going to go into the first 2. I'm going to pick up another 15 O. I'm going down the next 2. Make sure that that is tight, and it gives you a nice edge. I'm going to go back into the bicone. And this is still with all with wildfire. Now we're going to do the other side. And then you have to work backwards. So, as I said, it's very time consuming. Putting 4 on there. But you're going to get a beautiful silver lining. Look at that. Up 2 again. Just put your fingers on there to keep it all in place. Another 15 O. And then down there. Just pull that through. Hold it tight. Put your finger on there. And make sure that it's in there good. And then we're going to go back into that bicone. And we're going to move over to the next bicone with an 11O, also silver. So we're going to go in here. And you don't need to pull anything tight, just let it be as it is. And we're going to go start again with 4 15O seed beads. And picking up that bicone. And then be careful that you don't pick up that 11O, okay? And up 2. Adding 1. Down 2. And it helps when you put your finger on there to keep everything in place. So, in case you're saying, I can't see anything, I'm just pulling it through. Back through that bicone. And now we do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bicone. 2. 15O. 2. Bicone. And turn it around again. And 1 11O. Okay, so that's basically all there is to it. If you run out of thread, then make sure that you're ending like this. That way you can go down, down, and work your thread away on the bottom. Okay? So I suggest you continue until you got your whole bracelet added with 15O and 11O seed beads. And then after that we'll get to part 3. Okay, I have gone all the way around, which basically leaves me with one last 11O. going through the bicone and down to the middle again. I gotta meet up with that one over there, so I'm going into the opposite direction. And there, I'm going to double knot this thread and start with the new one. And the next thread we also start with Wildfire. So I'm going to pause you until I got this worked away, and then I'm going to start with a new thread. Now, of course, if your thread is long enough, you can just continue. It's a good moment to test if that passes over your knuckles. It does. So unroll that, put it back into perspective, and start with a new thread. Also, there is a problem with the Miyuki drops. They're not very unified. I got two here, for instance. Look, this is really white on the top. It's got a big hole. It's at least, what, 2 millimeters? As to opposed to this one, it maybe is like 1 millimeter, maybe 2 millimeters, 2.5. So they're not very unified. I do try to keep an eye on that, because you have a certain white in between these beads that we're going to go through, and you know, you want to curve it a little bit more. So I'm going to try and keep it about that same white, which would be the size right in between here. That would be this size. So I put aside the ones that I think are too small or too wide, and then keep that a little bit uniform. I also took out the really dark drops because I really don't like them, and I got 2 packages because I had to make a second bracelet, right? So okay, now if you're still working, then you'll probably be going around again, and I'm gonna go around with my new thread. I'm gonna start with the beginner bead. It's just about here, this one. And I'm going to go around again to tighten up my thread, and we're going to be working with the drops and with the 15-0 gray seed beads in this next round. So just going around to tighten up my thread. There we go. Twice around, that will always do it. And then we're going to go back up to the side of the bracelet. I do like to work on the right side. So, where are we at? Oh, we're here. I'm gonna go move over one. And this is where the gray comes in for the side of the sort of the rain cloud idea. And we're going to pick up that middle seed bead. So you got that gray seed bead. I'm going to pick up that middle seed bead of the bicones. And pull that through. And you'll be pulling down these silver edges and keep them in place. And we're going to go back into that 8/0 with another 15/0 gray. So these are basically underneath the silver, and then we're going to pick up a drop and go to the next 8/0 seed bead. And then again, one gray. Into that next middle silver. And a gray. And through the 8/0. And then another drop. And you can randomly pick up your drops, or just kind of alternate a little bit in between them, so that no two of the same drops are next to each other. And then gray again into that middle one. And gray again just through the 8/0. And I'm not pulling anything tight. If you want to tighten up that bracelet a little bit more later on, you can go through these white 8/0s and the drops, and then just tighten it up if it's not tight enough for you. So that's basically all there is to it. You just get another drop and you move to the next 8/0. When you're done, you just cross over to the other side, the exact same way, and then after that we're going to make our tiny cross. Okay, so pause me until you get everything done. Now the hardest part is the tiny cross, and what I suggest, if you really make the tiny cross with 15/0s, you use a size 13 John James needle. The fire line will pass through there. It's going to be hard, but it will pass through there, and it's very thin. So I just wanted to show you that the size 13 with the fire line 0.06 does go through there. But I'm not going to make that in 15/0 right now, because if I do that, it's going to be really hard to see on the video. So I'm going to do that with just a regular size 10 John James needle and with 11/0 seed beads. Okay, so but I got my needle and thread already put on there, so I can make this tiny one later on to put on there. And running that through my wax. So I use two colors for this, orange and yellow. I need about 1 meter worth of thread. You don't need much actually. And this is the actual size in the 15, and this is the size of the 11. So you can still go for the 11 if you want to, if you don't have a size 13, or you can just say, okay, I'm going to use these for instance, earrings to match my bracelet. So that's pretty cool. Okay, we're going to start with one yellow first, then an orange, a yellow, and an orange 11/0 seed bead. And if you do it, you use 15/0 seed beads, of course. So I'm going to pull that to the end. I'm going to double knot this. And yellow will be the starting point. So we're going to go into the yellow. We're also going to do crawl here. We're going to pick up one orange, one yellow, one orange. I'm going to go around through the yellow, go into the orange. I'm going to pick up two orange. I got a fly in the room. That's annoying. Okay. 2 orange, and then into the orange, into the yellow, turn that around, and we're going to pick up 1 orange and 1 yellow, and we're going to go into the orange and the yellow. And then we're going to close up our cube, go through the orange, and the next orange, at the end till to the end, pick up one orange, pick up the side orange, and go back through the two oranges. Now we're going to cube that all up, pull that tight, and then we're going to close the top, which is like one yellow, one orange, one yellow, one orange, and that's 3 and 4, and then we're going to start here again. So now we're going to do this again. Orange, yellow, orange, into the yellow, into the orange, 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 into the yellow, orange, yellow, and then back through the orange and the yellow, and then we're going to close that up, go through the orange on the bottom, up the orange, one orange on your needle to close it up, and back through all the oranges. And then we're going to close up the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now this round is going to be a little bit different, because you need to do the yellow inside, okay? So we're going to go yellow, 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 into the yellow. And I'm going to pick up the orange. We're going to do one yellow, one orange, pick up the yellow and the orange. We're going to go through the yellow. We're going to do yellow, yellow. And we're going to pick up the two yellows. And then we're going to go into the orange, up the yellow, and we're going to close it with one orange, and then through the yellow, orange, and the yellow, and close up the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to do one more regular one, orange, yellow, orange. This is the top one. Then we're going to go into the orange, two orange, into the two oranges, yellow, pick up orange, yellow, and into the orange and the yellow, and then we're going to pick up the last orange and the one after that, and pick up that last orange to close it all up. And then we're going to close up the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now we need to move down to the right side. So I'm going to move that over like a quarter forward, and we're going to go in here, into the orange, into the next orange, and up the next orange, and that's where we're going to start our new round. Okay, So now you need orange, orange, orange. Into the yellow. Orange, yellow. Pick up the orange and the yellow. It's a little bit harder because now you're working on a second row of craw actually. And pick up this orange. I'm going to do orange, orange. Pick up the orange and the other orange. And now to close that up, we're going to go into the yellow. Up the orange. Add a yellow. And all the way around. Into the orange. Yellow. Orange. Now we got to close the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now we need to go to the other side. Right here. So, forward. And you always follow the beaded path. I'm going to go through the yellows. Into this yellow. To come out in this orange. Okay, and again we start with 3 orange. Go into the yellow. Orange, yellow. Pick up that orange and the yellow. Move to the middle, orange. Pick up 2 orange. Go in orange, orange. Into the yellow. Now we're going to close that up with that last yellow. And to the top. To close that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go under the thread. Pull that through the loop. Into the yellow. And into the middle. And then just cut off your thread. Put your needle on the end till. Move forward 1 orange. Under the threads. And through the loop. And into the craw. And cut that off. What you need now is a head pin, and you just push your little cross on there. Make a little loop. And use a really tiny jump ring that won't be in the way of your drops. So I got, like, I think it's a 3mm. Hold on. It's actually, yeah, 3mm jump ring. that will fit in between there. And you just put that one on there and then put it through one of the 8/0 seed beads. And if you want this to be more tight, if this is too loose, because you can see it's pretty loose, it comes on pretty easily, then you can just take, before you put the little cross on, you can take a thread that's about this size and just go through all of them again, tie up on this side. Take another thread, go through here again, and on this side, and then tie that up on that side. And don't use the same thread for both sides to tie it up, because it might not be going straight. So I still have to do that, and then I have 2 of these. Okay, well, maybe I'll find somebody who will fit it and who will like it. So that's about it. So again, this is the size of the 11/0 seed beads. This is the size of the 15/0 seed beads, and I do prefer my 15/0 seed beads. You can use it for the little cross. You can make it in any color, of course, you like, and you can always hang it on a dangle, on a regular bracelet or something like that. I think I'm going to be having 2 little earrings right here, now that I made both colors. So yeah, I got me a set of earrings to go with this. Other than that, well, that was about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a little bit of a long video, but it's going to be worth it. It's a 2-day project, and let me know if you made it. Bye. I'll see you next month.